Jeffrey, we are live. Are you with me, Jeffrey? Can you hear me?
Come on, bud.
Welcome back to the Total, oh wait, I gotta hit mute on this thing. Total Arm Wrestling Show, episode 53. And we did no pre-advertising for this one. So let's see how many people jump in. Oh, Desperation Pinocchio has already arrived. And Devin Saplankov and armchair arm wrestlers. Zombie Mastiff.
I'm not
Zombie
seeing it,
Mastiff?
Ryan.
What do you mean you don't see it? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I have a real neck injury. So if you see me moving around funny a little bit, that is why. And I apologize in advance. Now, Jeffrey, let's talk about our sponsors.
We have Israel Arm Wrestling Club, the best arm wrestling training equipment there is around. And if you see in my post today, you'll see that they have the largest inventory of stuff ready to ship from Vancouver, British Columbia. They have like hundreds of arm wrestling tables, squat racks, handles, all kinds of crazy stuff. So hit them up if you want. And actually, probably the most well-priced arm wrestling equipment that there is. We have Insight Arms, custom manufacturers of today's precision rifles, and all your best firearm and optic needs. We have Western Survivor beef jerky, the best beef jerky in the world today. Hit them up at westernsurvivor.ca and give it a whirl. Misfit Powerlifting and Strength. Hit them up at Misfit Powerlifting on Facebook and check out all their cool gear. And yeah, that's what we have. And we're fueled by Supplement King and Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling. Thank you, Ryan Bowen.
Can you get a discount on Israel stuff?
It's already a discount.
Yeah, that's the thing. The markup is not huge. So
yeah,
I did inquire at one point on a discount code, and there is not one available. Now, before I get into the comments, because the comments are super interesting, we got to thank the Patreon members. And those Alpha members are Ready Go Solutions, Jeff Frank, Bruce Williz, Bryan Koerner, Jon Umpherville, Gary Roberts, Joe Fox, Mike Dumas, and Kenny Weaver. And remind everyone, this is a good opportunity because just the two of us on here, we can talk about all kinds of things and do a lot of the housekeeping things that we normally forget. We have that contest still running. So one of those Israel tables is coming someone's way. And once we get to 100 active members, we are going to do the draw. And Armchair Arm Wrestlers has already asked how many members are we up to. We're at like 20-ish. So we have a ways to go. But for as low as $1.99 Canadian per month, you can become a member on the YouTube channel over on Patreon, or over on Patreon, that is. And you can, that's like 25 cents American. Yeah. Cheap. Very cheap. Where do you guys want to start? No, it's not the shot that I got. It's not the shot that I got today. But I did get a shot today.
No COVID talk.
It's not. I got the vaccine today.
For what?
It's the opposite of COVID. It's the vaccine for COVID. We got Armchair Arm Wrestlers. I hurt my neck days ago, but you saw the exclusive video that showed me actually, one of the nurses actually recorded it. So every week I do an exclusive video for the membership. It's something that everybody out there doesn't see. You actually get a video once a week of me doing some stupid thing. And today it was just me chatting, and then it showed me actually the recording of me getting the vaccine in my right shoulder. So I have had the Moderna shot number 1 as of today.
We'll see if you still speak English next week.
What language would I speak?
Mutant.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going down a different path and you're going to say something incredibly racist. But Yeah, no. Here's the deal. The last note on that is there's a couple of the reserves out here. Arm wrestling opinion, I got Moderna. So a couple of the reserves out here got enough shots to cover everyone 18 or older on the reserve. Well, the issue is not all of those adults wanted it. So they have two options. They're supposed to discard the leftovers, which doesn't make any sense, or they can fight the power a little bit and stick it to the man and say they're offering it up to anybody. And that's what they did. So kudos to them for doing the smart thing and actually offering it up to other people. So I drove out to Long Plain and I got it. And that's why Armchair is calling me Zombie Mastiff. Yes. Jeff, are you getting the shot? They're asking.
Well, I mean, I think eventually it'll come down to that. Yeah. So, I mean, as much as we all hate it, I just think it's the only way out. There's not much we can do. If I want to travel to the States, it's going to be required. And I'm sure it's certain in the line of work we do that it'll be a matter of your staying employed as well. So I don't care. Let's just fucking get the shot and get it over with. Okay, arm wrestling.
And I'm self-medicating tonight because of my neck injury. So tonight it's a nice bottle of Aberlour single malt Scotch whiskey.
Yeah. Where's the proper 12?
Actually, I have a glass of proper and cola over here too. So there you go.
All right. Well, buddy, there is a shit pile to talk about in the world of arm wrestling.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with the hottest topic in the whole world in arm wrestling right now?
Yeah, let's talk UAWL.
Oh, I know. I like your style. You're going down the path already.
Hey, man.
The only event ran in Canada in quite a while, and we did it with no spectators, no coaches, no spouses, no well-wishers. It was just the two competitors. Church of Arm Wrestling, hey, buddy. And we had a great event. Two guys showed up, they arm wrestled, and then they got the hell out of there.
Let's get to that in a second.
Okay, sorry, you wanted me to start there, and now you're.
No, I did, but there's a quick. I want to get this just out of the way because here comes the Michael Todd questions and all this stuff. So let's just hit on that because I want to discuss the UAWL in more detail.
Okay.
So what do I? Okay, guys. Here's my personal opinion on the whole practicing, and I'm going to get beat up for this, but. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't find a lot of interest in those videos. I'm not, maybe I got to be careful how I say this because there's.
No, you don't.
People. Yeah. So.
Just say it.
Well, everybody fucking starts messaging everybody. Oh, did you hear what fucking, just how the fuckheads of the worlds work. So, but anyways, personally, I don't get a lot of the videos I don't get a lot of interest in, and people say, "Oh, but you yeah, I love arm wrestling. I love everything about it." Videos to me are just, I don't know. I don't find that content very interesting. I guess to me, it's the same as hunting. Fuck, I live and die hunting, but I can't stand hunting shows or videos. There's like two that are even remotely interesting. So, but I did find interest in what Michael Todd and Todd Hutchings were doing. I really like listening to Todd Hutchings speak and talk about the different dynamics and more of the engineering aspect of what they were trying to accomplish. So yeah, there was some good content there. Matt and Devin, I mean, it's Matt. I mean, I love Matt Maska, but I watch Matt practice every single week. Devin, I mean, he just does what Devin does. I just don't find a whole lot of like where I'm just sitting there at the edge of my seat interesting. It's just what I expect, right? So for me, yeah, it's what they should be doing. They're training hard and yeah, they're posting videos about it. Personally, I haven't really followed it a whole lot. So,
well, I mean, it's entertaining in bits and pieces. So I generally wait until I get the whole thing processed through the mind of Pradeep, because I like his take on things. I wait until he posts the.
We're living in a really boring world right now, and the fact that we have, I think there's so much good content out there that gets missed, and then you get 15 people analyzing a practice like they're trying to extrapolate something out of there that I don't believe there's really nothing there. You can't, you have to know how guys practice. I know how Matt practices, and it's just by nature. You can't take away from what you see there and make a 15-minute show like some guys have been doing about what you're seeing. I don't get it. I do feel from what I said last time, where I think Michael Todd would win this easily just based on where they were at with training. I'm gonna take that back a bit. I think Devin's looking good, but I don't know. For Michael Todd and Todd Hutchins, I think they're showing more into what he's doing. I think Devin Laird's a lot behind the scenes. I think that you don't get to see, so it's hard to take anything away from what you're seeing personally.
Well, a lot of people disagree with you.
With what?
Well, they get the views. They're getting tons and tons of people.
I could care less about views. I mean, they're going to get the views. It's Devin Laird. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I mean, they're already popular, and they're going to kick ass at YouTube. I'm talking about what are you extrapolating from what you're seeing?
Well, I mean, for me, I wanted to know where they stacked up against each other. And we kind of learned that in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, but if you know how Matt practices, you can't take. I can watch Matt Mask pull with Stephen Marcoux, and you're going to see the exact same thing. You watch Devin Laird practice with Eric Spotto, you see the exact same thing. I don't know what you're taking.
Okay,
away.
So devil's advocate then. If you're going to say that you're going to see the same thing, how do you extrapolate that you're no longer predicting a Michael Todd destruction of Devin Laird?
That was from some inside insight.
Okay. Care to share?
No, I think Devin's doing a lot more behind the scenes than what we're seeing in training. I'm just saying, with the videos that they're posting, you can't take away from what you're seeing in the practice matches that you can't see in the 5,000 other practice videos he puts out. But from what I'm hearing, he's from guys like Ian Carnegie, BLM.
I'm getting trolled hard.
By what?
James E says your face is getting red. Good thing you're afraid to leave your house. And says, how pissed are you that they're not wearing hazmat suits? Don't know who James E is, but he's starting to piss me off a little bit.
I think, I think Devin's doing a lot more than maybe I thought originally, just due to his health concerns and health conditions. Maybe he's been cleared. It's hard to say, but
well, I mean, he has to have been cleared if he's going to be flying to.
Has he?
Well,
it's
speculation.
It's merely speculation. I think he's keeping it close to his heart, where he's at. But I think, I think we're going to see. I mean, you could look at the Todd Hutchins and Michael Todd practice match too, and say, holy shit, Michael Todd or Todd Hutchins was pinning Michael Todd there. Maybe Michael Todd's not as good as we thought he was. I mean, you can go on for days and days about.
If Michael didn't want you to see that, he wouldn't have posted it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take away from anything that you see in practice. The practice matches, they're doing their thing. I know how Matt practices, and it's not the Matt you see at a table. So it's hard to say. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see I just think Devin may be a little further along than I originally gave him credit for. So,
well, he's coming in puffy. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than ever.
Yeah. I made a mistake one time to see how, and I thought about this last night. Do you remember at TAL1 when we made the predictions on Joe Fox and Alex Mertisis? And I predicted Alex would win that right-handed.
Yep. What did I predict?
I think I can't remember actually. But Joe's a good friend of mine, and I had predicted Alex simply based on what I seen from Joe Fox back the previous March. And when I see, so what that showed from March to September is just how far you can come. Because, Joe didn't look very good in Lethbridge in March of 2020. But come September, how much has he progressed in his training? I mean, the guy looked solid, like really solid. And then he pulled Ali, and just here a few weeks ago and ended up beating Ali too. So it's hard to say. I mean, if Ryan or if Devin is, training and he's been cleared for a while, I mean, I think he'll be a lot further along than maybe what I originally thought. So. Yeah. And the same goes for Matt for that. I mean, if you would have asked me 2 months ago, Matt and Hermes, I would have said, whoa, I don't know if that would have been smart for Matt to take that match simply based on Matt hasn't done nothing. And I think we all know he basically took a year and a half off arm wrestling and really didn't do anything in any sort of training for near 6 to 8 months. So, but I mean, from what I'm seeing now and how dedicated he is, I don't think it's going to take him long to get back in prime shape. Will he be the one we seen against Tyrell Wojcicki and Marcio and Nick? I'm not too sure, but I mean, yeah, I think he's going to come along really quick, and I think this could be a really, really good matchup. So,
well, I don't know. I think Devin needs to press, but can you? I don't know.
I don't think you want to do that, man.
I still think Michael's going to win.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I would say if I was a betting man and I had to put money on it, I'd still put it on Michael Todd, just based on how much he's put into it over the last 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy Berg says it's Devin Larratt's last chance, I believe. I don't know about that, but I don't know.
Yeah, certainly not his last chance. And then he says, he has to take it seriously. I had never once said that Devin wasn't taking this seriously. I said, how much can Devin put into training based on his medical condition? And it wasn't that long ago that he came out and publicly said that he still had some, DVT going on. So I was, my assumptions were based on what he was saying publicly about his medical health. So, I mean, there's no doubt Devin's going to take this seriously. I was just questioning how hard he could go with his medical condition. So,
yeah. Joe Fox pointed out that I predicted him losing, and he proved me wrong. Now,
yeah,
I made that prediction based on what I'd seen out of Alex and him shocking me when he has beaten Anthony a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it goes.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, and it's good to see. I mean, it shows how, if you dedicate yourself like Joe did, how far you can come in a short amount of time. Because, it was leaps and bounds from March till September with Joe. Like it was crazy. So, yeah, I have no doubt, with what Matt's doing now and what Devin's doing, they're going to be different than what I thought it would be a month ago. So.
All right. Are we done on that topic? Because... Hey?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. Well, one more question. Brian Gabriel points out the fact that he thinks Devin wins on 7x7 pads. I don't know where the basis of that comes from. Michael can still do his King's move on a 7x7 pad. Devin, I'm not sure he can. So Devin will have to beat him without the King's move, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, the big question is, both these guys have teased announcements. Larry Wheels has said he has a match coming up. Does he mean at his own event? And where the hell's the undercard?
You know what?
Like this
Here-
is
yes,
like
man.
no
Good.
way to sell a pay-per-view.
Thank you very
One
much.
match.
Thank you. And I'm going to be completely honest. I think promoters in general are fucking doing a horrible job at promoting the sport of arm wrestling. You know, like there's just like there to me there I don't know what's missing in arm wrestling, but something's missing and I can't put my finger on it. But it just seems to me there's so much big things going on and we know fuck all about it. Like it's I think promoters are doing an absolute terrible job on promoting the sport.
And I get the whole trickle out effect of things, but if you don't at least have a co-main event or an undercard, are we paying? And I know it's not a lot of money, and I'll pay it regardless because that's just I'm a fan of the sport. I'll pay, I'd pay $20 just to watch those two arm wrestle, just the two of them. But for the more casual fan, you'd want to see a card of some kind, at least a few matches. Now, the speculation, of course, is that Matt's going to be pulling Hermes on the card.
It's not happening.
How do you know that?
Because Matt's pulling Hermes June 5th in Turkey.
So a week later, he's pulling Hermes. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. 25 watching and 7 on the likes. Thumbs up, guys. Arm Wrestling News. Thank you, brother. Pretty. Thank you. So, I know where you heard that, but is that common knowledge now?
Well,
June the 5th is Hermes, Matt and
back
Hermes?
to my point, and this goes right.
And if they're in Turkey, are they flying? Are all of them going to Dubai first and then going to Turkey?
They're two totally separate events, from what I know. I believe
Right,
I believe Engin's putting on the Turkey event, and I'm going to say this right now: Engin's doing a fucking horrible job of promoting. He had a hell of a good card not too long ago, and it was just, I mean, that is something that you could have sold on pay-per-view. It's something that I would have watched. It had some incredibly good matches, and it just was there for a second, and then it was fucking dead the day after. I think it's horrible, and I really hope that if everything is 100% true with the Matt Mask and Hermes Gasparini match, that if it is under the Engin banner, that he does a fucking hell of a lot better job of promoting this, because we're literally, how many weeks out are we?
or we're waiting for May the 1st or something like that, and all of a sudden we're going to get all these announcements and there's going to be a buying frenzy for these cards. Maybe. Oh, Winston Hughes, thoughts on being number 3 in Canada, Ryan? I don't believe I am number 3. Bonhu's opinion, Winston, because if you look at the North American rankings, I'm number 2 in the whole continent, and that's up for debate because I have never lost to Cody Merritt. I've never been pinned by Cody Merritt. So I believe I'm number 1 with the left, and I got a good argument for number 2 on the right. So it doesn't matter what everyone in Ontario thinks, because you automatically go down 5 places in the rankings if you're not from Ontario. Would you agree with that statement, Jeff?
Yeah, there's no question that the boys in Ontario, place themselves up on a little bit of a pedestal.
Winston Hughes, according to Devin. Well, Devin might be an expert on Devin when Devin is arm wrestling. Devin is not an expert on the rest of the country. He has had experience with Matt Mask, and he's pulled him a lot in the 220 class over the past 5 years. He and I have not been on a table since the Arnolds in 2012. And I won that match. So Roger Cunningham, $10 super chat. And he is paying $10 just to say that Chance Shaw sucks. And I assume that has something to do with rankings. Maybe not. Yeah. And it's funny to me that you go over to that thread that Chance started, and Evan Burgoyne says, I've never pulled Ryan, but I think Devin beats him easy. Based on what? Never pulled him. but Devin beats him left arm easy.
Yeah, I mean that's
based
just
on what? I've been at
all that is.
I've been at 2 tournaments in the last 10 years where Evan Burgoyne has opted to sit in the audience and watch when I walk through the door.
Yeah, I mean, all you're talking about is a fan debate. I mean, which is the best hockey team, which is the best football team. I mean, each guy's going to pick the guys that they like. I mean, it goes back to the thing I said about you need something that quantifies what you're talking about to solidify your thoughts. Yeah, so yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the promotion world like this whole Travis Bagent, Mark Henry thing. What do you know about that?
What, did he get canceled or something?
Wasn't it, what date was it supposed to be? May 1st?
It was supposed to be coming up. I mean, it's not going to be a real arm wrestling match. I mean, we saw the last promotion. It's going to be an exhibition.
Yeah.
And Mark Henry's got no business on an arm wrestling table with Travis. Honky Monkey, I agree. Let's find out who the king is. Anyway, back to the whole Mark Henry thing. Mark's kind of an old guy. He's got a ton of injuries. He's not an arm wrestler. Remember what Devin said back in the day, that no non-professional arm wrestler, if you are not an actual arm wrestler, you will never, ever beat him. And that's a true story. Nobody that walks off the street and just throws their arm on the table is ever going to compete with a professional arm wrestler. That's why Larry Wheels got handled when he first started by everybody. Everybody did. And what are you going to say?
I think for me that I didn't know if it was for real or not for real. I just thought if that Matt Craig had actually put that match on, I was going to say kudos to him. But let's promote it a little bit better. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, in the world of arm wrestling, I think there's something missing that I can't put my finger on it when it comes to the promotion side of it. And there's so many good matches coming up that are just like not talked about. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Winston Hughes, when was the last time Canada had a definitive number 1 right or left? Well, I won the absolute championship at the Nationals when they had the overalls. But funny about that, every time I've been in the Nationals in the East, Devin never goes to the Nationals. We know that. Even when it was in Ottawa, he didn't compete. I was in Edmonton for the Nationals. Where was Matt? He was in Ontario or something. But it was 45 minutes from his house.
Yeah, I mean, people, anything outside of something that quantifies something, it's just basically fan based. It's your own opinion. If you want to think who the number 1 arm wrestler is in Canada, then you got to think, oh, well, how are you quantifying that? And then you got to think that the only true is at a national level, right?
And
like
nobody's going to take that seriously, though, because
I mean,
15 years ago, that was the case, because you got Earl Wilson, myself, Mike Gould, Len Houghton all show up.
Yeah, but the
guy that wins is number 1. That's it.
You can't be faulted for other guys not showing up. That doesn't mean that Devin doesn't beat you right-handed. That doesn't mean Matt doesn't beat you right-handed. I'm just saying, if you don't have something to quantify it, anything else is just discretion. I mean, it's simply arbitrary. It's your own thoughts. So.
Pros won't go to low-level nationals. That's what James E says. James E, go fuck yourself. James E's in time.
Well, I mean, does James E know what professional means?
Nope.
Probably not.
Nope. In Canada, it's tough to quantify that. What is a pro? Because a pro league, I mean,
there's only one way to define a pro, and anybody described as a professional is anybody that makes a living off what they do is a professional.
Yeah, there's only one guy in Canada that does that, and it's not from being a pro arm wrestler; it's from being a YouTube personality.
Yeah, I mean, you can debate what is what, but I mean, if you want to define stuff and quantify stuff, then there's a reality that you're looking at. If you want to quantify something, you have to have something quantifiable. All we have right now is nationals. If you want to define something, if you want to define what a pro arm wrestling is, the only professional arm wrestler out there is somebody who makes a living off of it. And so be it, that is Devin Laird. You would classify him as a professional by definition.
Yeah. And if Devin Laird said I was number 2, I'd be ranked number 2. That's how it goes. Anyway, let's get on to something else, man. I'm sick of this topic because we give those guys way more attention than they give us. I guarantee you that.
No, I don't. I'm not. I mean, I'm not trying to create a pissing contest. I mean, we're looking for attention. I mean, I'm good friends with both those guys, and it's just whatever they feel.
What?
That's just. What do you mean? What?
You ever been to Devin Laird's house?
No, not Devin's.
Okay.
But
Honky Monkey, Devin was winning money before. Yeah, he was winning money, but he wasn't making a living. So, yeah. Levi Prince. I got a match with Chance Shaw on the 17th. That is interesting. You know who Levi Prince is, Jeff?
Nope.
Check him out on Instagram. He is a powerful looking guy and super fast.
Nice.
I'm interested in that match. Yeah. Super match. Right on, Levi. I will tune in. If you know where it will be being shown, let us know, and we will help you promote it, and we'll tune in.
Winston Hughes, no, there's no chance Ryan's going to fly to the USA because Marcio and Ryan are scheduled for Canada.
Down the road. But, I mean, Winston, I'm not I'm a realtor, so I need to be able to go and see my clients. The second I set foot on American soil, that is minimum 14 days when I get home that I have to quarantine. Minimum. So
you're forgetting that 10 days you got to quarantine in the United States.
Okay, well, it's longer. It's like a month. Armchair arm wrestlers, how about how strong Ty is looking? He's looking incredibly strong. I agree with
Ty
you.
always looks good. Ty is an incredible arm wrestler. Incredibly quick. So
let's talk about the UAWL numbers 1 and 2. Let's start with number 1, the event that just happened.
Yeah, man. First of all, I just want to say good job. Looked good. The matches were good. Let's review it. Who'd you have up first?
Oh man, who was the first match of the day? First match of the day was.
Let's just start with the lightweights.
Let's start with the heavyweight. Okay, we'll start with the lightweight. 0 to 180 is our lightweight class. So we had Spencer Cleaver versus Nick Penner.
Nick Penner won that, I would assume.
You assume wrong. Nick Penner won the right arm. He swept it 4-0. But on the left arm, Spencer came back from a 3-0 deficit and ended up winning.
Is that right?
Yes. I can't believe you haven't watched it yet.
Well, first of all, well done. I mean, I think that's a great thing about what you're doing, and other promoters is taking guys that are not well known, getting them out there and showing what they can do. That's awesome. I mean, Nick Penner's a well-known name in Canada.
Yeah, and Nick Penner is no slouch when it comes to stamina because he is actually, for those that you don't know, Canadian Nationals is a triple elimination format, and I have witnessed Nick Penner come off the seaside to win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but if that was a best of 5, Nick would have won it. But our format is best of 7.
Interesting.
Spencer came all the way back and won that match. And it was awesome. So
awesome. Good on him.
We have Spencer as the champ on the left arm. Nick is the champ on the right arm. And we've got lots of guys wanting shots at those. Actually, you know what? That might be the one class we don't have lots of guys wanting that shot. We got 1 or 2. And then we got middleweight. Actually, before we get there, arm wrestling news. I think professional should be the one who's getting paid with a contract and sponsorships and doesn't have to hustle on YouTube. to sell stuff himself. So Arm Wrestling News, based on that, I have a question for you specifically. Does that mean there are no professional arm wrestlers in North America? I'll wait for your answer. In the meantime, we'll talk about middleweight. Curtis Mocan versus Tanner Jenkinson. We had a sweep, both arms. Tanner Jenkinson, 4-0.
Both arms.
Both arms.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I'm hearing about this Tanner guy, man. That's awesome because really, let's be honest. I mean, he's virtually unheard of. I've never heard of the guy. He looks like he's got every single tool to become a really good. He looks like he's got an incredibly big hand, very long lever, tall guy. So yeah, that's incredible. I could think of so many good matches to put up against a guy like Tanner. So,
yep. Tanner has been training with me for a long time. I knew how good he was, and I wasn't shocked at the outcome. I didn't think it would be as one-sided as it was.
Yeah, I know, leading up to the event, you talked pretty highly of Tanner and his capabilities. And so that's cool, man. It's good to see. I hope this guy competes at
what are you reading?
Messages.
Northern Ontario has some crazy good up and coming arm wrestlers that no one is talking about. Devin doesn't go anywhere to promote, and an upcoming talent he's definitely missing out. You guys will see. I hope so. I'm sure arm wrestlers, well contracts. Some of them are okay. I don't think guys are making a living off of them. And Arm Wrestling News answered, I don't think there are. So there you go. Yep. So Tanner Jenkinson, middleweight champ, right and left. Heavyweight. The young lion, Ben Clausen, comes in, dominates.
In that.
Jeff Richardson. He reminds me of Marku, that kid. So
Ben Clausen?
Yeah. But like super dedicated and interested in getting better. So comes in, just crushes guys. Yeah. That's it. Heavyweight champ, Ben Clausen.
Arm Wrestling News. In 3 years, if I can make $1,000 a month from YouTube, would you call me a professional? I'd call you a professional YouTuber, yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's lots of wall pros that work full time, and Michael Todd's one of the few guys that doesn't, but he's hustling all the time. Devin is one of the few guys that doesn't, but he's got a military pension. I don't know if he's able to collect it yet or not, but I mean, they're pretty set up. And then we got the ladies matches. Christy Finley versus Brittany Sutherland.
Christy won all those?
Christy lost one match on the right arm, I believe. Am I interrupting something, Jeff?
No, go ahead, man. This whole pro thing's starting to fucking annoy me.
Well, yeah, Christy, champ, both arms. But had to work for it. They were good matches. A 4-0 result there is not indicative of how good that match was.
Yeah, I mean, Christy's a killer. She's got such a great personality when it comes to the arm wrestling table. She's so intense. I'm not surprised. I mean, obviously, she's got a great training partner in Jimmy Finley. So, great. That's good to see.
Yeah. So that was the event. That was the whole event.
Well done.
And then we had we got UAWL number 2 coming up May the 1st. The first 2 matches are booked. We have right arm heavyweight championship match. Ben Clausen will defend his title against the old bull, Paul Avante.
Oh, Paul Avante, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that'll be a good one.
That will be interesting. You got an old veteran versus a young and upcoming guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Hard to predict that one. Hard to predict. Paul's got some real, credentials behind his name. Ben's up and coming. It's really hard to say. And the next match, and for the hardcore fan, you'll find this pretty interesting. Tanner Jenkinson right-handed versus Andrew Grant.
Oh yeah, I don't know much. I don't know a whole lot about Andrew Grant. I've heard bits and pieces, but that'll be a good match.
Yeah, he's been a nationals competitor quite a few times. He's got multiple provincial titles. Super solid, but coming in at 220, he'll be hard to beat.
Interesting.
And then we got a handful of other matches that are being confirmed, which are all contenders matches, not championships. So we're going to run a couple of title defenses on each of the events. We're going to try to do something once a month. We're stuck with Manitoba competitors only for a little while, and that's that. Bryce McMillan, it was on tap. Bryce was on tap, but he's got to go away for work.
Oh no, I'd love to see Bryce pull.
Sheldon Short says Paul has an awesome hit. That is where Ben might have the biggest problem, is defending a hit, especially because Paul does have some horsepower behind him.
And you're doing that one in a month's time?
Yeah. So 3 weeks from Saturday.
Interesting.
And it might have to be the exact same format as we did last time.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, well done. It was good to see some arm wrestling again. And I'm working on a few more things for the TAL with some super matches. Hopefully do something kind of along the lines that you're doing. So,
well, we saw that your event in Red Deer's canceled, and we saw that Buggy's event is canceled because shit's hitting the fan in those provinces, and nothing can happen right now.
Can't do fuck all, man. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. Yeah. So, but there's lots going down in the U.S. There's lots of good matches. I see. I mean, the Dallas Langston Craig Touye match.
Yeah. Armchair Arm Wrestlers asked me a question here. What do I do to train my hit? I believe the hit is more about timing than it is actual speed. So the illusion of speed is timing. And I think I've always had a good hit. So, but in the early days of my career, I would actually load up with bands and listen to goes in different cadences and try to time that hit to be right on the money. So there you go. That's what I used to do. And then the rest became muscle memory. Monkey, accept it. War is over. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I have to reread some of these for context and go back. Winston Hughes, going back to this one. What did you think of Todd Hutchings' practice? We kind of talked about that already, so go back to the start. And is Sylvain Perron still into competitive arm wrestling? I don't know. Right now, I would say no. But I will say that an arm wrestler never really retires. They just kind of take breaks. So I would be shocked if Sylvain is finished. I don't
still
think so.
See him at the practices in Ontario.
Well, in Quebec for sure.
Well, I've seen him at a few in Ontario.
Well, he was pulling with Devin at Quebec.
What was that in Quebec? Did they all go out there then?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they did today.
No. I was talking. This is a while back. No.
Well, I mean, Ottawa is basically right across the river from Quebec. So, yeah. When you're in Ottawa, you're 100 yards from Hull, Quebec. So how far they went in, I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting.
What else have we got to cover here, big fella?
There's lots, man. I mean, you want to, talk about some of the matches? We got the Dallas Lanks and Craig Tullier match coming up. I think that'll be pretty interesting.
What rule set?
I would imagine 5.
Okay. I just hope I see more out of Dallas than okay, I'll address one of these comments. I hope we see more out of Dallas than trying to bail and go to the strap every time.
Yeah, I don't think he would want any part of Craig Tullier outside the strap.
Outside the strap?
No.
So Winston Hughes said Sylvain for the UAWL Heavyweight Championship. Armchair Arm Wrestlers has a finger pointing up, says this guy sucks. Well, the problem is this. We are a small league with a small budget and have to be mindful of the level or the distance that I have to bring someone to travel. And also, there is the guy at the end of the row that is unbeatable. So let's say I bring Gabriela Vasconcelos up here to pull against Christy Finley in, a championship match.
I could have gave you a better scenario.
Give me a better scenario.
Ryan Espy, the heavyweight champion of the Fit to Fight.
Well, that's a real one. So
it's a real one, but I mean, it's what you're alluding to.
It's the same. Yeah, I guess I am. But there's a much bigger gap. Let's see Gabriela, who is arguably the best female puller on the planet. But no disrespect to Christy, but let's say Gabriela wins that match. Then what? Then I have this small local league that's basically contained within the province with a slow growth. I have to fly in somebody from across the planet every time I want to see her defend her title.
Yeah.
It becomes problematic.
Yeah. It's basically the same scenario you have with the Fit to Fight right now.
Well, I mean, I'm the left arm super heavyweight champion.
Yeah,
Fit to Fight
who's going to beat you?
The last title defense was Mark Gay. The one before that, I believe, was either Solomon or Steve Gaber. And
there's nobody in Canada that's going to beat you on the left hand in a Fit to Fight tournament.
And Steve Gaber is the next guy on tap for defense.
You need to give up your belt, brother.
More Power says, "What's your opinion on Alan Ford today?" I don't know, because Alan Ford at the Mike Gould Classic, the final one they had, was it 5 years ago? I think that he was right there. He was right there with the top elite guys. I think it was Rob Vision Jr. He pulled in a super match at that event.
Alan Ford's Alan Ford is a TAL champion right now.
Alan Ford is legit. Like he's an amazing arm wrestler, and when he is completely dialed in and focused, he could be in that conversation of the top guys in that weight class. I don't know where he's at right now. Sheldon Short, super chat, $6.99. What did you think of Sam Burnett calling out Ryan Bowen for a left arm match and Ryan Bowen lost? I am not aware of any of this.
No, I don't know what Sheldon's saying either.
Ryan Bowen lost.
Well, Ryan Bowen sucks left-handed.
Well, Ryan Bowen lost to Chris Gobby left-handed.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan Bowen's left arm is not, he does not advertise it as being elite. So I don't know what the deal is, but anybody that's calling out Bowen's left hand needs to try a little harder. Guitar arm wrestler, hey SB, do you find that there's a large number of lightweight pullers compared to the heavyweight classes in Manitoba? Yeah, I think there's a good spread. Winston Hughes, so is Manitoba far away from the center of Canadian arm wrestling? Well, Manitoba is geographically almost the center of Canada. But it depends. What do you consider the Mecca? Because there's strong presence on the east coast, well, the east Ontario, strong in the Maritimes, and there's a strong presence in Alberta and BC, but we have a smaller population that is spread well throughout the entire country. Brian Gabriel, they pulled 2 nights ago. Okay.
I missed that.
Yeah. Honky Monkey says, who the hell is Ryan Bowen? Mark Hoover, Big Rick Heidelberg will give you a great lefty. I think Big Rick Heidelberg would give me a great right-handed match. I'm not so sure about the left.
Yeah.
We'll see. Rick is always good, though. Rick is a strong guy, and he's a giant. All right, what else you got, Jeff?
What do you think about the Jonathan Brita Pablo match? Durban and now.
Didn't watch it.
Well, it's because it hasn't happened yet.
Oh. Never heard of Jonathan Brita.
Oh, boy. Anyways, that's another good match that I see that's coming up that I can't wait to see. And I see Dimitri Trubin has a match coming up, too. I see Igor.
Mark Hoover, keep dreaming, buddy. Keep dreaming. Go on.
I see Igor Mazurenko has booked a super match card, a really good one, the same day as the Devin Michael Todd match.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's looking really good. You got Trubin on the card.
I saw the match with Trubin being advertised. I don't think they're going to outshine Michael and Devin. Not at all.
No, I don't think they will either, unless they do something really off the charts.
What could they? Unless they get Saplenkov in there doing something.
Oh yeah, Jason Merlo just said Justin Bishop and Paul Talbot. There's another one. That's a fantastic matchup up and coming.
That's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
Those guys have had multiple wars, and this is a throwback to the early World Arm Wrestling League matches.
Yeah, that's another great one coming up. Winston asked when my next super match is. I'm kind of in a transition phase right now. Now that I'm out in Vancouver, I've really found a different perspective into what I'm doing here, and I think in the next year you're going to see a very different Jeff.
That can be interpreted many ways.
I won't be a woman. That's what you're getting at.
No, never would I imply such a thing. What else you got, Jeffrey?
What do you got there?
I got a pain in my neck. That won't go away.
You want to make some predictions?
On which?
Okay, ready for some rapid fire?
Sure.
Who wins? Michael Todd versus Devin Larratt, and why?
Michael Todd.
Why?
Too strong. And I don't think Devin can overcome his King's move.
Hermes and Matt Mask.
Oh, shit. I don't want to. Okay. I have a prediction, and it's very clear in my mind. I don't want to piss off Matt, but listen, I'm going to.
Just before you answer, I want to say something. There's no reason when you make predictions. If anybody gets mad at a prediction, I'm a little shocked. Predictions are based on somebody's current status. That doesn't mean if I sat here and that's all you're basing a prediction on. I mean, it shouldn't offend anybody. Joe Fox is one of my best friends, and I based a prediction on what I seen last, and he proved me wrong. That shouldn't. Anyways, go on.
I think Hermes beats him. I don't think Matt can stop him in his current state. With the amount of time he has to train and his current state, all things considered, WAF rules, Hermes is going to win that match.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of factors into that match other than Matt Mask versus Hermes, and you know, when you look at Matt, I want Matt to stomp Hermes. I hope he does. I just see Hermes right now. He's been the guy looks huge. He's been training his ass off. Matt's taken almost a year off arm wrestling and really for 8 months never picked up a weight. But in what I've seen from Joe Fox is I know Matt from this day forward, or let's go back maybe 4 weeks. I mean, that guy is on a fucking path to get back to regaining what he had a few years ago. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Will he be able to make up that much lost time in a short amount of time? We'll see.
We'll see.
Tullier versus Langston.
Tullier.
Bishop versus Talbot.
Bishop. Simply because he's been, as far as I know, much more active in training and competition.
Yeah, it's hard to get. I mean, fucking Justin Bishop is, that guy is just chiseled, man. Like, man, it's hard to bet against him. I just see him progress to getting so much better in the next few years. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, and then of course I think Luke Kint has got a match coming up. You know which one I'm kind of interested in watching is the Matt Craig and Gray match. Just because it's a true hatred of people there. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Larry Gasparini, that seems to be a common trend that Hermes shakes hands like a girl, and then all of a sudden when he grabs you on the table, it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we done with predictions? Who else you got? Travis Bagent versus Mark Henry.
Travis Bagent all day.
Okay.
Oh, man, Jason Merlo, he says, set me up with the winner. I feel so bad, man. Like, I'm sitting here fucking with my hands tied. I mean, Canada's went straight communism, and we can't do a fucking thing up here. Jason, I'd love to give you and I would give you a match tomorrow. I can't come down there. I can't bring you up here. We can't even hold events. I mean, it's just, fucking Canada sucks ass right now. And
Enough.
Canada fucking sucks ass. Our government sucks ass. Our conservative governments that we have voted in to uphold our conservatism.
Anyway, Jason Merlo, my knee is okay, buddy. It's healed up nicely. Before Jeff's political rant comes into effect here, we'll just cut him off right there, and before people start smashing the dislike button on the political aspects of the show.
I have never seen a dislike on it yet.
Now somebody's going to do it just to spite you. All right, buddy, I'm in a bit of agony here, so I'm considering that we should probably cut the show off at this point, my friend.
You're what? Sorry?
I'm in a bit of agony.
I see you're a little off today.
Yeah, I'm a little off because my neck is killing me.
Oh, man.
Getting old, buddy.
Yeah. Well, it's next week we'll touch base and see where we're at. Hopefully that Mask Hermes Gasparini match gets announced. I'm gonna reach out to Engen and tell him he's got to do a better job of promoting. I'll probably get blocked, but it's
Are you gonna say it? I'm just gonna say, hey, do a better job.
Well, I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's not a match that you just want. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world of arm wrestling. It's missing something, like I said earlier. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, but I don't know.
Okay.
You want to know how Ryan hurt his neck, guys?
Don't you say a goddamn word, Jeff.
Do you guys want to know how Ryan hurt?
And that's the end of our show.
I'll tell you next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching.